It's Wednesday, about 5 o'clock. I'm heading across town. Gonna try to go to a speed shop that specializes in drag racing parts, high performance racing parts for drag racing, and they have a bunch of race cars themselves that they've built. It's the only shop in town that deals specifically for performance parts, so I'm gonna go over and see if they have what I need. I've got a radiator cap, just not the cap, the housing I think is warped. It's spraying radiator fluid all over the place, and I filled it back up again, recapped it off, tried to torque it down again, checked the gasket in between, checked everything, but I think it's just warped from the heat over time. It's made out of aluminum, it's not steel, so I'm thinking the aluminum might have warped and it's causing it to leak out. I bought a new radiator cap hoping that would do the trick, but it hasn't solved the problem. It's still leaking out, so we'll see what they have. I had to run around, do errands today. I had to fax some paperwork, and I think I went to half a dozen places trying to find somewhere with a fax. No businesses seem to have faxes. I was really surprised. I offered, you know, I'll pay you, I just need this page document faxed. And they're like, oh, we don't have a fax, or our fax is broken, or those two same stories over and over. There's an office supply place on the other side of town. I was gonna head there, but I ended up having a friend on Main Street was able to help me, and I got it faxed out today. Needed to be out today, so I'd meet the deadline. He's working on a bunch of different VW projects. He's got 3 Volkswagens himself. Pretty interesting guy and mechanic. He's got a Volkswagen buggy. It's redone with all new wheels and rebuilt motor and everything. He's taken it to the beach a few times. And then he's got a Volkswagen Westfalia. I think it's an 86. He's done some work to it, lowered it, put Porsche wheels onto it. Looks really sharp. I like the Westfalias a lot with the pop tops. Those campers are really neat vehicles. They haven't done anything since the early 90s that was that good of a design. The follow-up design I didn't like as much. And then he's got a split window Volkswagen 60s. I guess it's considered a truck. It's got I think it's a double cab. It's got the bed in the back. Not getting anywhere fast. Rush hour traffic. It's a little after 5 o'clock. Anyway, the Volkswagen truck that he's got is really neat. He just recently picked that up in the last couple months. and he's going to do a lot of different work to it. He's getting ready to do brakes and a bunch of other parts. He's got a whole pile of boxes sitting in his shop. He's like a lot of mechanics that I know. They're always working on other projects, but never seem to have time to get to their own vehicles, or they don't like to work on their own vehicles, which is funny. Reminds me of South Florida with the cab drivers. They drive all the time. You think they'd be like the best drivers out there, but they're like the worst. I'm trying to remember how long it was ago, like 10 years ago or something. The cab driver lost control of his cab, jumped the median, and crashed through the big glass storefront displays of a car dealership and ran into one of the cars. And it wasn't just a regular car, it was a Rolls Royce. It was a Rolls Royce dealership, and they somehow managed to plow into the showroom and crash a Rolls Royce. It's coming up on Thanksgiving. I'm going up to here to try to get these parts. Daytona Beach has the turkey run this weekend, which is the hot rod car show, and not sure if I'm going to make it over there or not. I'd like to check it out. It's kind of like their bike week version, but for cars. It's every year Thanksgiving weekend. It's called the turkey run. Car show and parts swap meet. They have all kinds of activities and competitions and games for hot rodders. I guess it takes place in a stadium or something over there. I know some people that go every year, and they have a great time, so they go back every year. And then Bike Week's coming up after that. I think it's in March. The Daytona Bike Week. They're going to be I think the 75th year of the Bike Week. The way I'm headed right now is, you're heading out of Gainesville and you take this road north, you wind up in Alachua. And then High Springs. There's some parks that I want to visit up there eventually. Some springs for swimming and diving. I think the closest one is called Ichitucknee. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but crystal clear water. If you look at the pictures of it, it looks really beautiful. And I think the springs stay around 70 degrees year round, so even if it's cold outside, you can still go swimming. The water's fairly warm. Speed parts, there we go. A few stickers on the window and doors, huh? Definitely a race shop. Alright, let me go inside and see what they got.